There we go. So apparently I'm having trouble with my internet here, everybody, but welcome to the call. Hopefully it doesn't freeze up again. It just froze up right as I was entering the conversation today. If just be aware of that as we continue forward. But welcome to the call. It's good to be back. It's been way too long. Hey, Marios. Hey, what's up, buddy? Um, oh, that's Marios that's logging on. Okay, cool. So let's put something in the chat, everybody, if you're there. We got somebody from India, Haney. Welcome, buddy. And let me know that you're getting this, and then we'll continue on from there. The subject of today's call is why it's so hard to achieve your goals. And I think this is a really important topic, especially being the new year. And for years, I would set goals and then not achieve them on and off, or I would set a goal one year and it would take me, and I would put it aside and I would achieve it many years later. And I wouldn't understand why it took so long because in the beginning I was fighting it so much. I was fighting, trying to bring it into reality. I'd give up and it would happen years later. So a lot of stuff like this would happen. So I've really taken a deep look at this and at what it really takes to achieve a goal, because so many people have all these goal programs, and I even have one called the Fresh Start program, which really is a powerful goal setting program. But if you're not in the right place, even that can be difficult to achieve. So we want to talk a little bit about that, what that looks like. We got somebody from India, Arjun. I think I don't know if I said that right. Eric from Maine. Chris, what's up, buddy, from Poland? We got a whole new batch of people, it looks like. I don't see any of the regulars, probably because we took a couple weeks off. Jonas, what's up, buddy? Kludgy, hey, buddy. Good to have you back. Noah, good to have you back. So welcome to the call. There'll be people coming in for a little while, joining in. Met Heavy, good to have you back. Kim, what's up, buddy? Now, let's dive a little deeper into this idea. Why is it hard for some people to achieve goals and other people achieve them like crazy and achieve almost every goal they set? I tend to achieve my goals. Oops, I log back in and it says Cairo. Got to change that. But I tend to achieve my goals. And but sometimes it takes me a lot longer than I plan. And it shouldn't. Sometimes they're easy and I set them aside and I come back to them later and they just kind of end up happening at a later date. And it blows my mind that when I take my mind off of it, sometimes it happens. And then I'll see other people who just achieve goal after goal after goal. And I started to look at this a little deeper. And I asked myself, what is it inside of me that makes it difficult to achieve these goals? And I came up with three things that really stand out for most of my clients, most of my students, most people out there that when they're trying to achieve goals that are really important that you have to take a deep look at. And number one is that you're not emotionally aligned with your goal. This is so common, it's ridiculous. We get so many students that'll come in the room and they say they want to achieve X goal or Y goal, but they really don't want that goal. When we take a deeper look at them, and how we kind of determine this is we'll put you on camera, we'll film you talking about your goal, and then we'll take a deep look at your subcommunication, how your body's responding to that goal, how you feel emotionally about that goal. And we'll often see that a lot of people don't want the goal they say they want. I'm going to give you a real world example of this. I was doing a workshop many years ago, and I had two guys in the workshop. And one guy got up there and he said, I really want to have an amazing girlfriend. I want to have that's my goal. I want to have an amazing girlfriend. And we filmed him talking about that and what that looked like. And he got a good clip of that. And then we had another guy come up there and say, oh, I just want to date. I just want to date. I want to explore dating. I want to have a lot of fun. I want to have a lot of crazy sex, all this stuff. And he was all about that. And so we played both of them back later, along with a bunch of other students, to take a look at the subcommunication and the micro expressions that were going on underneath the surface in relationship to these goals. And the guy who said he wanted a girlfriend His whole body was shutting down at the idea. It was pulling back. It was shrinking. So it's going to be really hard for him to move in the direction of that goal because every time he does, the body's going to want to tighten up more. And the more he affirms that goal, believes in that goal, tries to force that goal into his head, the more his body's going to go into resistance, tighten up, create pain, until eventually he'll probably burn out and give up the goal. Willpower will burn out. And then the other guy came up who said he wanted to date and have a lot of sex. And he tightened up on that one. And he started to shut down and started to go inside, same as the other guy. When we dug in a little deeper with both of them, it was actually reversed. The guy who wanted a girlfriend, when he started to talk about dating a lot and having fun, his whole body opened up. He felt so much lighter, so much happier. He didn't even realize it. He had been telling himself in his head over and over and over again, I want this goal, but his body didn't want it. He was trying to force it. His body wanted something else. And then the other guy who said he wanted to date a lot and have a lot of sex, he actually wanted the girlfriend. And it was really interesting that they were both reversed. So when we dug a little deeper and started talking to him about it, the guy who wanted the girlfriend felt guilty about wanting to date a lot. He felt like he's supposed to have a girlfriend. That's what he'd been taught his whole life. And he felt guilty and ashamed saying he wanted to just date and have sex. And the other guy who wanted to date and have sex felt that if he didn't date and have sex, he needed to get that off his checklist, his list of things to do, that he would never be happy with a girlfriend. But what he really wanted was a girlfriend. He just wanted to do that to get it done, to say he did it, so he wouldn't feel like he missed out on anything later. So it was a have to. And in both cases, these goals are what I call have tos. I have to do this. I need to do this. They weren't I choose to do this. I want to do this. I'm excited to do this. I'm turned on for this. And that's one of the number one reasons I see people don't achieve their goals. They're not emotionally aligned with their goals. They're completely out of alignment with their goals. And where's the land of smiles? Huh. Interesting. So let that in for a minute. Ask yourself, and I was talking to some clients today about this, some advanced clients. When you say you want your goal or think of your goals, is it just coming from here, your head? Is there a sense that you're thinking, I want this? Or do you feel it rising up out of your body? Thailand. Awesome. Nice, nice. I actually would love to visit Thailand. I've almost done it a few times and never done it. But does it rise? Does it come out of your head, like the thought, or do you feel the goal rising up from your body? If it's rising up from your body and it's an expression of your heart and your stomach, then yes, you're more likely to be in strong alignment with that goal. But if it's just up here and you're trying to force it into your body, that's where a big problem is going to come in. It's a real problem that a lot of people have. I feel from my turn on, I want to have sex. Well, you can have a lot of sex with one girl. You can have a lot of sex with different girls. That's a different issue, isn't it? So, how does going out and putting the energy in to meet and date different women, which takes up a lot of time and a lot of energy, versus having one awesome girlfriend feel? Having one girlfriend, you can actually have more sex than dating a bunch of different women. A lot more sex. So, and so kind of play with that too. Okay. So as we dig in a little deeper, and I'm not saying one's right over the other. Let's take a look at the second reason today, and then we're going to talk about it for a bit. We'll have a discussion in the chat, and we'll bring things up. But we're going to definitely talk about this a little bit. And Jonas, what if there's so much? Okay, we're not to the questions yet, but see if this gets answered in the next two. If it doesn't, Jonas, then we can talk about it later. Okay. Hey, Landon. I was I didn't have your phone number, buddy, and I thought I took it down one time. I was trying to call you the last couple of days because I just got back to LA. Thank you for your gift. It is fucking beautiful. I wish I had a picture to put on here. He sent me this beautiful gift, and it's absolutely amazing. And so I got your number now. I just got it, and we'll talk tomorrow, buddy. The thing's beautiful. I actually have it turned around. I got the backside forward where you wrote that nice little message on the back. It's very beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna do a Q&A towards the end. Okay, let's dive in a little deeper. I need some better lighting for here, don't I? You guys can give me a thumbs up if that's true. But the second thing, let me get it off my notes. Okay, the second reason people don't achieve their goals, very common, is because they're trying to move in a straight line to their goal. They're using logic. Again, they're using their head to get their goal. It doesn't mean their body doesn't want their goal. It's that they think that to get this goal, I need to do X, Y, and Z. These are the 3 steps that are the fastest path to my goal. But they may not be the fastest path. They may not be the best path. They may not be the right path. The reason that is because a lot of times we have stories between us. And you always have a story between you and your goal, at least one, possibly many. Even if your body wants your goal, even if it's a mission from your body. And you have to go on the adventures your body needs to go on, or the experiences your body needs to go on to allow that goal into your life. And sometimes that means deviating a little bit from what appears to be the fastest path, because you got to go over here. And like, for example, I wanted to be a hypnotherapist many years ago, and I didn't know why. It was a goal for my body. It was coming up from inside of me. And I was sitting in this office job. I was miserable, but I kept looking at ads on hypnotherapists. I didn't know why. I was like, I just love the mind. I love learning how the mind works. I started looking up schools while I was sitting at my job. And I found this school. It was a few blocks away that had a weekend course in becoming a hypnotherapist. And I was like, wow, that's cool. Then I started looking at more, and it seemed really hippy dippy, new agey. Um, it seemed really fly by night. And I just had this weird feeling about it. And then I kept looking, and I found another school out in Tarzana. I was in Irvine at the time. So if you know the distance between the two, it's really long. It's over an hour drive, and you get heavy traffic. It could be a 2-hour drive. And I found this school in Irvine that was a year-long program to become a master hypnotherapist with real college credits and all this deep work. And it was super expensive. The other place was way cheaper, and it was super close, easy to get to. You'd think I would have started out with the easy one, but something drew me. It was a part of me. And I needed that detour. And so every day I would drive an hour and a half, 2 hours to class. Then I'd drive home at night. And I was doing 3, 4 nights a week and on the Saturdays. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. Now, I could have got a certification as a hypnotherapist in a weekend at the other place and continued on with other programs of theirs. But I knew I needed this other place. And it wasn't the fastest path. But for me, it was the best path, because that school ended up being, and I couldn't have predicted this, integral. I don't know if am I saying that word right? Important, we'll say, in the achievement of my future goals and putting me in this seat right here teaching today where I am. Because I ended up getting a job as a hypnotherapist many years later. And part of what got me that job was the fact that I went to that school. They were super impressed because that was one of the hardest schools out there. And they immediately wanted to hire me. Without even barely an interview. And I ended up almost running that whole company, a weight loss company for hypnotherapy and stress reduction, stop smoking. It became, and a lot of the principles I learned there were so much deeper than everybody else in the program that were doing the hypnotherapy at that place. Most of the other people had gone to that other school, and I noticed the difference. I basically ran the show at that place because I had the in-depth year-long study and longer. I'd spent years studying books and all kinds of stuff. It was an intricate part of who I am. And a lot of us are just trying to do just enough, or avoid the difficult work, or do the logical path. And sometimes you got to look and say, what am I avoiding? What do I need to do? What's the next step for me? Or what am I afraid to do? Like, sometimes we know we should go, you know what, I need to move to this other state and live over here, but I'm terrified to do it. And you keep putting it off, but it's a big part of your path and your growth towards your goal. And because you keep putting it off, you're not getting your goal. So that's another important reason. There's something you're avoiding. Can anybody out there relate to what I just said? Can anybody out there see that in their life? That the journey to a lot of the big things they got in their life was not a straight line. And when they stopped fighting, trying to make it a straight line, it got easier, actually, much more fluid. It's like riding a wave. You have to adjust moment to moment on that surfboard to stay in that wave. Okay. Good. Marios. Thank you. Marios. Um, Fascinating journey of yours. Thank you, Claudia. Appreciate it. Um, Yes, started Fearless 3 years ago. Hey, Raymond, what's up? Yeah, that's a crazy journey, isn't it? Fearless. Fearless is always a crazy journey when people get into the workshops and the seminars and the trainings. It's not like anything else, is it? We don't do anything like anybody else, to be honest. And I guarantee you that. I have everything I do comes from very unique sources. I was actually a part of a mystery school for 4 years, where some of this stuff comes from. Um, and if you don't know what mystery schools are, you can look them up online. But I was part of a mystery school that didn't advertise itself as a mystery school because a lot of the ones online are just using it for marketing, the term. But and I had lots of detours in life that got me to where I'm at now, and all these crazy pieces end up fitting together that I didn't expect to fit together. And yes, it's been a lot of necessary crashes. Yeah, and in the future, you'll begin to appreciate and love those crashes. You know, life's not trying to do mean things to you, even though it seems like that sometimes. It's trying to nudge you in the direction that you need to go because even though you're fighting it to get your ultimately to get the goals, the deepest goals your body and your soul want to achieve. And most of us spend all our time fighting that process. And when we get out of the way of that process, everything speeds up. You see, people like Elon Musk have figured that out. People like Vitalik of Ethereum have figured that out. They surrender to what their body wants in the process, and they're not out there just thinking I got to make the most money possible. No, they're on a mission, and they're not afraid to take the long route, like the long route to Mars, right? For Elon, and they're not afraid to get messy because it's all the whole journey is part of what makes them who they are. And a lot of us are just trying to get to the $1 million, the $5 million, $10 million, get to the girlfriend, and you don't realize that that has nothing to do with why you're doing what you're doing. The goal itself is a pointer, and you have to learn to ride the waves of the journey. Some waves are bigger, some go in different directions, but that's where the real, not just learning, but experience happens. That's the whole purpose of the goal. Otherwise, the goal wouldn't even be there. So, Mario's. I saw a video in Fearless about feeling your body and also took a workshop 3 years ago. Thanks to Fearless, I started BJJ. Grateful for that. That's awesome, dude. I love it. And we have many students that have started BJJ because of Fearless, because of the grounding aspect of it. And I have a student who just got his black belt in BJJ after the last movement workshop. And he's been applying our movement and embodiment principles to BJJ with amazing success. He's super happy. He's going to be writing a book about it. So all kinds of stuff in this direction. Okay, let's dive in a little deeper. Let's go to topic number 3. It's good to see y'all. It's good to have all y'all back. I've missed you guys. Took some time off during the holidays. I was doing some work myself. I finally surrendered to a journey I needed to have. This is a good example of the last topic. Is I needed to have this specific journey I've been putting off for a while, and I finally surrendered to doing it. And that's why I kind of disappeared and pulled back as my own deep movement, meditation, releasing process to become more of who I am inside and bring out more. And it was a rough journey in the beginning, but I surrendered to it. And now I'll tell you right now, the world is more beautiful to me than it's ever been in my entire life, and getting better every day, and more magical. And I'm seeing more of the truth of these energies, because and I plan to go a lot deeper with the process I'm in now. I will be. It's not even a plan. Um, so awesome. You could definitely get into that boxing gym, Claudia, as soon as you can. Let's dive a little deeper. Topic number 3 is probably the biggest topic we run into. And that's why I saved it for number 3, as to why people don't get their goals. I need to get a better light in here. It looks great in here in the summer because the sunlight comes in, lights this whole room, but look, it's kind of yellow here, right? Not much I can do about that today. Anyways, so topic number 3. This is a big one. How many of you feel like you don't have a goal? You're having a hard time deciding on a goal. When you pick a goal, you change it all the time. I can't even think of anything I want. I feel apathetic. Who's got that? Put that in the chat for me. Good to see you, Igor. Good to have you back, buddy. Yeah, it's nice to be here. I enjoy talking to you guys. So anybody have that? I can't decide which one's right. Do you feel heavy when trying to decide, Noah? You, Timothy, yes. Yes. Awesome. Yeah, it comes in the morning. What, the heaviness comes in the morning or what comes in the morning, Marios? When I wake up, usually. What comes in the morning though? Not apathetic, but always changing goals. Okay. Okay, good, good, good. Undecisive. Probably nervous about the goal, not sure. Questioning yourself. Yeah, the heaviness. Okay. I used to have bad morning depression. Matter of fact, some heaviness came back over the last few weeks when I was doing all this deep, deep, deep work. I was processing a lot of stuff. Okay. Let's dive in a little deeper. Apathy, grief, and fear, the low end of the emotional scale. Um, I'm trying to decide if it's even goal to pursue a goal. There's nothing wrong with pursuing a goal as long as you're not attached to it. If you make the goal more important than anything else in life, then you're going to be out of the now, and that's not going to serve you. Um, the heaviness and the fears coming in the morning. Yeah, that's the morning depression. That's very common. A lot of people get that. And so you want to start processing. What I'd recommend for you, Maro, since it's going to go with the topic we're talking about right here, is as a practice in the morning to get out of that as fast as humanly possible every day for the next few months until you can start to own your mornings, because that's going to change your whole life. I find it hard to feel anything when visualizing my goals. Okay, that's coming back to the same problem. And it's a self-esteem, self-worth problem, or in German medicine, they call it self-devaluation conflict or something like that. In other words, if you are hard on yourself, if you're attacking yourself all the time, you don't believe in yourself, you see yourself as a smaller energy, not a big energy, like you're not deserving, you're not worthy. When you get around other people, you shrink inside and you make yourself smaller, then you're going to have a hard time picking a goal. Because even if your body wants it, you're going to shrink. Oh, I can't have that. Especially if your body wants it, actually. The more your body wants the goal, wants to achieve it, decides to achieve it, believes in achieving it, the more you're going to feel pain in relationship to that goal. You're going to feel like you don't deserve it. That if I get this, that I'm a bad person, that I'm unworthy. And that's what I'm talking about. You see, I had that problem for a long time when I was younger. I would set a goal. I'd look at a goal and I'd be like, oh yeah, but look at all the work, Like, let's take when I did my first YouTube video. Let's go back to another good story. When I did my first YouTube video, I was encouraged to do it many years ago because I had such I'd learned so much good stuff, but I was afraid to put it out there because I had a small little thing I was doing, my little personal dating thing, and I had a little group and we were working, but the idea of putting it out there terrified me. A video. And my good friend and former client Elmar was constantly encouraging me to do it, trying to film me, and I'd want to change them all, and I want to shift them all, and this isn't good enough. And that's all self-esteem. That was all my sense of self-worth, because the idea is I am going to put this image of me talking in front of who knows how many people, and they're going to comment, and I'm going to get commented on, and I have to deal with that. I get myself reflected back at me the bigger the game I play. Elon Musk gets a massive amount of people reflecting back to him, right? Donald Trump gets a massive amount of people reflecting back to him. Richard Branson gets a massive amount of people reflecting back, and they're judging him, they're attacking them, they're liking them. Some love them, some hate them, and they have to deal with all that and not take any of it personal, not get attached or averse to it. Otherwise, it will take them out. So the moment you put yourself on YouTube, you're being seen and witnessed and reflected based on your beliefs, based on your feelings, based on who you're being. And that makes all your insecurities, all your chinks in your armor of your self-esteem hurt if they're there. It puts you in the fire in a sense. Well, it's the same thing with a goal. If I create a goal and I put it out there and I start to move in that direction, there's a sense of that goal is reflecting back to me, that the ability to get that goal, to move in the direction of that goal, to have that goal reflects back to me my self-worth, how I feel about myself. I'm not, the moment if your goal is to go out and meet a girl, the moment you go out to start doing that practice, All your stories about your worth come up. If you just sit there and think about it, plan to do it, maybe say do it next week, maybe say, I don't know if I want this goal, because you're smoothing it over all the chinks in your armor with apathy, like a layer of apathy, then you feel safe again. But to actually take action, to make a decision and take action hurts, because it forces you to feel how you feel about yourself. Now, if you really love yourself, if you really like yourself and you think you're worthy and you start to allow yourself to be a big energy, this doesn't mean a gregarious energy. This means you could be quiet, but be big energy, and you start to go out and take action. You're not going to be bothered by what the world thinks of you. You're going to be like, yeah, I can do this. Let's do it. This goal sounds exciting. This goal turns me on. Like Elon Musk, I can't wait to get to Mars. Like me, I can't wait to have my YouTube channel break 100,000 subscribers. And if it wanted to break 1,000,000, that would be fine by me too. But in the beginning, I was scared of the first 100, and and so now I'm like, I'm actually thinking about creating a podcast and starting to interview all top level people around success, mindset, belief, consciousness, just separate from Fearless, but its own Brian Bayesian podcast series. So I can dive in with these people and have deep discussions, debate and challenge them. I would think I would love to do that, but that's going to take effort. I need to build a team around that idea if I'm going to do it. But the doing of it sounds fun. Whereas in the past, the doing of it would have terrified me. The first time I was on a TV show, for example, was in the news. Was that the first time or the second time? I remember being terrified. I was on the morning news. I had to get up extra early, and I got up there, and they were asking all these questions about our programs, and then the female announcer was challenging me a little bit. It was fun in the end, and I wanted to do it again, but going out there was scary because it challenged that part of my self-esteem. Is this worthy? So if you don't believe in yourself enough, that work has to be done first, or you'll constantly choose new goals as soon as your goal starts to hurt too much because it challenges your self-esteem. You'll constantly want to shrink your goals. You'll constantly pick goals that aren't quite in alignment with who you are from your head instead of from your body, like we talked about earlier, because these goals are safer than these goals. These goals won't hurt as much as these goals. And so that self-esteem is the most important piece. Self-worth, self-evaluation, learning to say, I am worthy and deserve of the things that my soul, my deepest level of being wants to have. Okay. I have been looking at your chats for a bit because I wanted to get all that out. So let me back up a little and take a look. How to become worthy of your goal. There's something like Wim Hof breathing and cold showers can help with that. Anything that improves your self-esteem is going to help with that. That's all the work we do, the releasing, the revealing, the movement. Wim Hof stuff is going to teach you to handle more tension and step into more tension. Sure. So it's going to process in that area. Let's go on down. I have self-worth goal like stopping watching porn for 2. So yeah, the porn is all these distractions. Stopping them is going to bring up your self-esteem again, because the porn is a way for you to not feel, because energy, when you don't masturbate, energy is going to build in the body. When that energy builds, you're going to start to feel like the want to go meet women, but you're going to feel turned on, but then you're going to feel your insecurities too. And so you have to deal with all that. The moment you masturbate, all that numbs back out again. If you masturbate 3 or 4 times in a day, you're really going to numb it out. You're going to shut down. You're going to be depleting energy. So really good that you're stopping that. Congratulations. Thanks for sharing my goal, and all your goals. Here's truth. There's 7 natural laws. Go look up my YouTube video. I want all of you to watch my YouTube video on the 7 natural laws. Go find it and go watch it. Okay. The 7 natural laws. One of them is the law of polarity. You can't have a goal from your body, from feeling that you want, without a way to have it already in your environment. It's not something that you have to go figure out how to get. It's already waiting for you when you fix your self-esteem issues and your belief. It drops right in. It's been there the whole time, actually, waiting to drop in. That's natural law. Go watch those videos. They're very important. They're very important. I imagine I've studied the hell out of those, and you guys should too. Can just continual. Where to go? I just lost you. Ah, damn it. That was an interesting question. Here we go. Joe, can just continual welcoming of all emotions and becoming proficient at it become a main goal? Yeah. It's basically my New Year's resolution. I know it's a key to getting other goals more smoothly. Yes, but I wouldn't say it's the best goal. The highest goal is ultimately the highest goal. And there's one highest goal that will get you all your other goals. And that's total freedom from attachments and aversions. It's what Buddha went for. It's what Lester Levinson went for. It's stopping altogether inside and letting go and freedom, imperturbability, peace, living in a continual state. And when you go for that goal and you really go for this total freedom, you will not only develop, you'll do that by watching all your emotions and letting them go. So you'll develop that ability, but all your other goals will become easy to get at that point if you do that. But you have to be willing to let go of everything. Most people won't do that goal. Doesn't mean all your other goals won't grow you. They will. But that one goal, if you're willing to let go of the women, let go of the sex, let go of the money, let go, what happens is all the attachments to those things let go. And then if you still truly want those things, they come into your life. And if you don't want those things, then greater goals take their place, greater states of beingness. But some people are scared. But I want to become enlightened, or in a sense, imperturbable, but only after I've had all the sex I want, because that might take away, see, that type of stuff. And that's what I want to offer you guys, is this idea that that's, in my opinion, the highest goal. That's Lester always said that. And that's where I got it from. I vote for the podcast. Awesome, Igor. You can be you got to get on there. What guys, come up with a good name for my podcast if I do it. Searching, because that'll start to motivate me. I'll write it on the wall somewhere. We also got to create a courage journal. We've been a lot of you guys want a courage journal. We've been asked the last video, you guys wanted that. And look up the 7 Natural Laws video. Maybe we can even get it in here if we can find it. If Cairo is able to do that. I don't know if you're free, Cairo. Pop the 7 Natural Laws video in here. We'll get them watching that. But if not, it's okay. I can't understand how I'm basically still my own worst enemy. Well, this is where learning this stuff. Everybody does this, buddy. Everybody does this. You're not special. And the fact that you attack yourself and beat yourself up, this is the human condition before we awaken. Not Lester Levinson, Eckhart Tolle said, enlightenment is just sanity, guys. Look at enlightenment as sanity, and everything else is insanity. And if you're below that sanity level, yeah, you're going to be doing some level of beating yourself up. Congratulations, Will, you're human. And yeah, this girl I'm seeing wants to take it slow. Last time I was with her, I was doubting myself and I was having shame for wanting sex. Never have shame for wanting sex. Just don't be attached to it. Never have shame for sex is a beautiful thing with lots of hormones and healthy. Just don't be attached to it, or if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You can be moving in that direction. You can be turned on. Own your sexuality. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't be, just if she's not ready, she's not ready. That's it. Okay. And you might find that one day she wants sex and you don't. That can happen too. I can resonate with this. I can get excited for a goal and really focus for a couple days. Then either I get too excited and I want to do a bunch of things, or I shut down energetically. Well, the jumping around from goal to goal is typically some pain is underneath the surface that's unresolved. And you're jumping from goal to distract yourself from that pain, just like you're masturbating, drinking a beer, going out with your buddies to distract yourself, watching a ton of TV. And when you stop all that and get underneath it, that's what the revealing process is about, and clean that up, then you're more capable of sitting with a goal and being with it and not distracting yourself. Okay. 7 Natural Laws. There it is. It's already there. See, he was on it, man. Cairo's got it down. And by the way, guys, I want to tell you, if you guys want to learn more about goal setting and you want to do it in a powerful way, then I got a program we've never put out before, and I think we're about to put it out. Cairo was setting it up. I said, we got to put that thing out. I put it out, I think 2 years ago, and it killed it. It's one of my best New Year's products ever. It's the Fresh Start program. And that program, people kept talking about it for the last 2 years, saying how great it was. And it's never been offered again. A lot of people have asked us. So this is the first time we're offering it. You'll see a link for it in the video. Definitely check that out. I put a lot of my favorite stuff in there on goal setting, goal achieving, goal processing. It's a deep, deep, deep dive into this stuff. It's powerful, and it goes really well with revealing process and things like that. And check out the link, check it out. Let me know if you guys are checking it out. I want to make sure that that we're offering you the right stuff. I personally think it's one of the best products we offer, along with revealing and embodiment and the experience workshop. And yeah, we don't put out anything half-ass here. So is masturbating about your girlfriend good? Well, why don't you just actually have sex with your girlfriend, or masturbate with your girlfriend? You both masturbate together, or have that, circulate that energy together a little bit. I don't know what's stopping you from doing that, unless there's a reason that you're not putting in here. But if you're really turned on for her, it's better to masturbate, I guess. If she's not around to her, then it would be to some bunch of people you don't know. So if you're really into her, I think it's awesome. And I think that's the best thing you can do. Okay, guys. So, but if she's around, retaining your semen and learning to and using that energy with her is even better, as far as I'm concerned. How do you know if a goal comes from the ego or if it's a true desire coming from the soul? Thanks, Brian. Well, it's very simple. Once you learn to feel the body more, start paying attention to the body, you'll feel that things that are coming from you tend to rise up from, like, you get silent inside as you learn to meditate more and do the revealing process more, and you learn to get more silent inside. You feel these understandings coming up from inside you. When you're not silent inside, or you can't get silent, it'll be all racing from here and pushing from here, and tons of thoughts, versus the stillness and a realization coming up. And so you want to have the experience of those two through meditation, through slowing down, so you can see the difference, Pedro. That difference is everything. Does visualization help to achieve your goals? Of course it does. It can also push it away. Or action also plays a big part. Yes, action does too, because your visualization and your turn on for the goal is going to inspire action. And visualization, once you've determined what's a true goal, visualization from the body, feeling the visualization through the heart, through the stomach, is really potent versus just picturing it in your head. You got to get it in. See, the key is I first visualize up here above my head, out of my body. Then I bring it down and I feel the visualization through every part of my body. Then I project it into the world in front of me and open my eyes and work on seeing whatever I'm creating around me as if it's happening, like the holodeck on Star Trek. If you haven't seen the holodeck on Star Trek, you guys could probably look that up. But the whole world pops up around you. And then I look and I touch it. Then I'll go back, shut my eyes, go back up here, practice. Then I bring it back through again. And I do this over and over until, like, it's so real in the physical world, it feels like it's here. But if I'm doing it from my head, if I have an idea from my head and I'm not feeling it in my body, it's going to be hard to do that process. That process isn't going to work very well. And so you got to bring it in and through you. You're the conduit through which it comes, right? And then once it's in the physical world, the inspired action starts to kick up. Call this person, do this, start a website, whatever. And if the self-esteem issue, then that'll crash. That'll start to pull it down like heavy weights, because you'll be like doubting whether you are deserving of it. And that'll start to make it harder. So you got to work those self-esteem issues out through revealing and through movement and through, like, fearless experience and or dating workshops, or through, there's a million other programs and books out there. Letting Go by David Hawkins, Sedona Method, whatever works for you. Okay, let's see. How do you give your emotions to your, well, you give your emotions to everything, Chris. When you feel love, you feel love. Put it, if you're visualizing having love for your business and appreciating it, or joy, that's it. You should be feeling that emotion while visualizing at the same time. And if you're feeling appreciation, practice feeling your emotions for a little bit, Chris. That's what I would do. Go out and look at things and ask, what am I feeling? Learn. If you don't have the emotional intelligence, that needs to be learned. Uh, can my action actually push? Yes, can push you further away. Yes, Noah. Your actions, if your actions are coming from apathy, grief, and fear, you will probably push away what you want. If your actions are coming from courage, acceptance, love, peace, you'll pull it towards you really quickly. If you're in the middle, wanting anger, lust, anger, pride, you'll be in a fight that I've got to do it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to force it into place kind of energy. What if I desire women, but they're not my priority for my highest goal? I'm high vibe and struggle to attract and have been watching your videos. If they're not your highest priority, you don't have to make them your highest priority. Matter of fact, it's usually better that you don't. You have a goal greater than the women. What you do is you release on allowing women into your life, appreciating them, enjoying them, seeing them as beautiful, letting the energy run through you, being the witnesser of a beautiful woman and seeing her as an amazing human being and enjoying them. Practice connecting with women, enjoying women, appreciating being turned on for them, and watch how they react to you. And if they're not your number one goal and you're not obsessing over them, it tends to get easier to do, actually. That's the funny part. When you make them your number one goal, they feel that and want to push you away. Women want men to have a purpose greater than themselves, as you as a man, and greater than them, greater than everything. Like you have a mission in life. That is sexy. Okay. Do you find that if it's more effective to keep your goals to yourself rather than it can be. I wouldn't when you're new to goals, I would not share my goals with anybody that's going to destroy your goals. I would only share them with people that are goal-oriented people that will support you in the beginning until you're strong enough and that goal is rooted enough in your reality that it doesn't matter what other people think. And then there's a time to put it out there as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger because people are going to see it coming. But you gotta protect it, like just like you're starting a little fire, right? And you do the spark and it starts to light and you're just sitting there and you got your hands around to keep the wind from burning it out and you're protecting it, nurturing it. It starts to get a little bigger and a little bigger. And then eventually it gets so big and strong you can take your hands away. And I think it burned down the whole forest, and that's what you're doing. In the beginning, you're getting it started. Okay. Cool. Took the Fresh Start course last year and I've made great progress. Just passed a cert, completed a boot camp, lost 20 plus pounds because I've been working on my belief around those goals. Great job, Brian. You're welcome, sir. I love that. Thank you for that testimonial, Maurice. And I'm super happy you got into it. I love creating that. That's really what I'm in alignment with, is stuff like that. So that means a lot what you just wrote there. Appreciate it, buddy. Joe, thanks for answering my question. I was thinking that continual welcoming will actually lead you to that freedom state. Yeah, that's almost more important than the releases, to be honest. And the welcome and then the realizations, welcome and the reveals, lead you to that freedom state to be the world, to be of this world, but not of it, is what I strive for. It's a great goal, man. Brian is goat. Thank you. I appreciate that. Ultras world. Nice. Thank you for making your content. You're welcome, Paul. I'm glad to do it. When I'm working on my goal, I feel a lot of shame and shut down. It feels, oops, lost you. Where'd you go? It feels like pushing because the unintegrated shame is putting me into apathy and suppressing the turn on. Yeah, that's the self-esteem stuff. Whatever that is, that's so use the goal. The goal is just the trigger to clean up how you feel about yourself. That's the more important piece. And then you'll have all kinds of stuff happening in your life. And someday that goal will seem easy to achieve if you actually go do the work of cleaning up how you feel about yourself. And that's where the real work is done. You got to dig in. Hawkins, if you don't have much money, Hawkins Letting Go book is a great book. We got a lot of stuff online, the YouTube videos. If you got money and you want to invest in our revealing course, that's great too. Or if there's some other course out there that you love, that's fine too. Anything that helps you clean up the self-esteem and the stories, and don't put in new programs. Learn to let go and become more conscious, and to really just love yourself and love the world. Give that love away. What is the best way to achieve a calm state of mind from Sean when I can't stop beating myself up at work, when struggling? Meditation. Learn to meditate, man. Learn to stop your mind and get good at it. And then revealing. I would add revealing to that. Meditation is the art of stopping and opening and settling the mind. Revealing is the art of, from an open state, looking at all the stories that hold you back and letting them all go, and cleaning up and slowly deleting and tearing apart the ego. That's what it's about. So there's many types of meditation. Find one that works for you, that causes the mind to open and still, and then allows you to feel more your body. If you get a good blast of what it's like to shut off that ego and really feel consciousness at a deep level, you're going to feel bliss. It's just the way it is. It's what's under there. And then you use the revealing to bring the two together, to start to learn to walk and talk and hold more of those great states of being. Thanks, brother. You're welcome, buddy. Are you methodical about your releasing, welcoming, emotional transmutation? I get stuck all the time, and I'm consistent, not methodical. I change the way I'm working. I'm open. I'm fluid. It's like a surfer on a wave. Every wave has to be ridden differently. Every wave is a different angle, a different speed, a different volume of water. You have to be willing to adjust. If you're not willing to adjust, you will get stuck. And so learning to make subtle adjustments in the vibration, because the vibration's a little here, a little here, a little here, is what causes ultimately the release and the growth. And so I'm super consistent, and I put in the hours, but methodical. I have a method to my madness, but I'm not strict. The method changes as my consciousness grows. The method transforms itself with time, and that's based on the revealing process, movement, embodiment, consciousness, flow of energy, things like that. What do you mean release negative? Well, negative thought patterns are just beliefs that are stored in the brain. Beliefs, programs, thoughts you've thought a lot of time until they become habitual, like a broken record, and they get stuck in the nervous system. The nervous system keeps rethinking and keeps going back to them to try to relive them, to process them. If you get good at welcoming them, watch some of my revealing videos, and stop making them right or wrong, good or bad, you can eventually just start dropping them, and start dropping a little bit at a time. And it's like 1%, 1%, 1%. And over time, over weeks and months, the ego was pulsating really big with all these negative stories, get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and eventually just starts collapsing inward, and you just get happier in the world, and you start to be able to create more. Okay, guys, we've been running a while. Let me check the time. Okay. Oh, it's been about an hour. Okay, cool. Through the process I just talked about, Joe, the grounded, I worked on it every day. I did a lot of movement before I actually learned the releasing and revealing. Lots of exploring subtle movement. I know we have a whole week-long program on that, but even that's what yoga is supposed to be about. That's what most yoga is, exercise today. That's what, and a lot of things. So even Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu will get you more grounded. But I really, learning to consciously feel that connection into the earth, to the sky above you, through your body, and practicing it on a regular basis is huge. Okay, interesting. Joseph, I find that I generate far more feeling from goals of wanting to be a certain type of person internally, like I am an attractive prize, rather than specific goal for something concrete externally. Okay, then yeah, keep doing that. I personally, I affirm, it's okay to affirm stuff like that, but then release it too. Don't try to force it into your head. Feel it and let it go. Feel it and let it go. Trust that your nervous system is getting the idea. That's one of the best things I can say. Where people go wrong with affirmations is they try to force them into their head, and then they end up in a fight. And then the affirmation starts working in reverse and actually pushes away what they want. Okay. I find that eventually I remember what you say about being all right with grumpy neighbor in your head. That's a good one. Yeah, that's good. That's in my revealing course. It's just talking about learning to accept and welcome something, and that's sometimes you got to welcome something you don't want to welcome, and then when you get to the other side of it, you wonder why it ever bothered you. And if you have a grumpy neighbor that moves in next door to you and he's never going to move, and he bought the house and you got your house, at a certain point you're like, you know what, I'm going to learn to, if I have to live next to the door to this guy, I'm going to welcome this guy to the point where he no longer bothers me. I'm going to learn to like him. I'm going to learn to appreciate him. And that's work, man. But when you do it, it feels so good in the end. You're welcome, buddy, Sean. Okay. Landon. Oh, I got to answer a question for Landon. I was about to call it a day. Over the course of the last week, I got beyond the pushing of goals, such as meeting women and becoming loving of myself. And on Sunday, a beautiful, healthy woman came to me. That's perfect, man. That's exactly the way it works. That's life 101. When you stop pushing, it comes to you. Everything comes to you. You don't. It's much easier than you guys think. Life is, when you live in cap. Life wants to give you everything you choose. When you're below that, it's work, and when you're really low, you push away everything you want. Life seems stingy. So just remember that. Okay, guys, we could go all night. I know that. Um, it's been about an hour. It's first time back. We'll be back next Tuesday with more good stuff for you guys. I really appreciate it. Check out the Fresh Start program. We posted that earlier. There's a link to it somewhere, either in the chat or on the screen. It's going to be coming up. You want to pop a link in the chat so they can they click on this link on the screen? If they can click on it, that's great. But definitely, if you do me a favor, guys, click on the link and check it out, because I personally think this program can be life changing for a lot of people. It can be huge, and it's one of my favorite programs that I've created. Goes great with revealing, goes great with letting go from Hawkins, Sedona method, all these Course in Miracles. Check it out. It can be a huge life changing experience, and it's January, so jump on those goals and make this year and every year better than the last. Make this the best year of your life, and the next year the best year of your life, and keep doing it, because there's no reason you can't. And keep customizing it. Take what you like, and there's a lot of good stuff in here, and let it carry you. And then as you go each year, you'll refine it and make it more and more your own. And if you guys really love it, who knows, maybe we'll turn it into a book someday. I definitely want to turn in we're definitely talking about creating a tension courage journal. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for that. So a couple other things for you guys. Yeah, I used to do tapping a long time ago. I don't do it anymore. I just found that it worked great in the beginning, and then as people got used to it, got to know it mentally, and they would get in their heads with it, and then it would stop working. As long as they stayed in feeling, it worked great though. And I still like it. Just got to keep people in feeling. So, yep. We took a couple weeks off, Igor. Sorry about that. We're back though. I needed a vacation myself. So, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. You're all awesome. Definitely check out the Fresh Start program. And if you have any questions or anything, contact the team. Let us know. If you want to talk to one of our coaches, Josh, Anthony, one of those guys, Sam, let us know. We'll make it, and we can make that happen too. We'll be back next week with an all new topic, and we'll dive in a little deeper. And you guys have a beautiful Tuesday night. And remember, only the confident really lives. I'll say that again because I screwed that up. Remember, only the confident really lives. Take care. Have a beautiful night. Bye.